This is not a CGI creature. This is not a movie prop. This is the Kawasaki Corleo, a living, breathing mechanical beast brought to life by engineering so advanced, it blurs the line between machine and animal. This four-legged juggernaut is leaping, sprinting, and prowling like a panther through terrain where wheels would choke. It's alive in the way it moves. It thinks in the way it adapts. Dirt bikes, obsolete. Horses, replaced. The future is not coming. It's already here, and it's called Corleo. All right, so what exactly is this thing? The Kawasaki Corleo looks like something ripped straight out of a sci-fi movie. And when you first see it, you're probably thinking, there's no way this is real. But guess what? It is. And it's one of the wildest machines Kawasaki has ever unveiled. This isn't your average vehicle. It's not a car, and it's definitely not a dirt bike. So, what is it? Corleo is a four-legged robotic vehicle. Yes, you ride it like a horse, but don't get it twisted. This thing doesn't move like your average off-road vehicle. It doesn't crawl like a robot with stiff, awkward joints. It moves with animal-like precision. Picture a panther, or maybe even a wolf with robotic legs. That's how agile and fluid this thing is. The legs don't just bend, they shift and adjust in real time, just like real limbs. So, when Corleo moves, it looks like it's alive. It shifts its weight, adjusts its posture, and takes on terrain like it's reading the environment and reacting to it. And here's where it gets even cooler. The rider sits atop it, kind of like riding a mechanical horse. But trust me, this isn't like straddling a motorcycle or a dirt bike. This is immersive. You're mounted on a creature that's responding to your movements, moving with the kind of fluidity you'd expect from a living animal. Imagine riding a mech straight out of your favorite video game, except it moves with such natural ease that it feels like it's alive. Bottom line, Corleo isn't a car, it's not a bike, and it sure isn't a traditional robot. It's a new breed of machine. And I'm telling you right now, this could be the future of transportation. All right. Now let's talk about what really sets Corleo apart. And it's not just the fact that it walks on four legs. What makes this thing incredible is how it moves. Kawasaki didn't just design a walking robot. They looked to nature for inspiration. Real animals, real motion, real instincts. The Corleo's movement is based on biomimicry. That's when engineers literally study how living creatures move and try to recreate it in machines. And let me tell you, they nailed it. This thing doesn't stomp around like a clunky sci-fi mech. It glides. It leans into turns like a dog chasing a squirrel. It crouches before a leap like a panther ready to pounce. The joints, the balance, the reactions, everything about it looks like it belongs in the wild. At the Kawasaki unveiling, people couldn't stop comparing it to animals. One person called it a robotic stallion. Another said it looked like a panther made of metal. And someone else joked that it was a mechanical wolf with Bluetooth. But seriously, watching it in motion is surreal. It doesn't just move through the terrain, it responds to it, like it's feeling its way forward. And that's the magic of it. Kawasaki didn't just build a robot. They built something that feels alive. It's almost like we're looking at the first step in creating machines that don't just mimic life, they embody it. The line between machine and creature, it's vanishing, and Corleo is leading the charge. Okay, so we've talked about how Corleo moves, but now let's talk about where it can go. Because this isn't just off-road, this is off everything. Corleo was built to dominate the kind of terrain that would make a dirt bike cry. Rocky cliffs, no problem. Loose sand, deep mud, uneven slopes. It just keeps going. It's got independent leg control, which means it can adjust its balance and stance in real time, like an animal adapting to every step. And let's talk about the jump, because yes, this thing can actually leap. Not like a little hop. We're talking real, powerful, terrain-clearing jumps. Imagine riding a robot that can vault over fallen trees or climb steep inclines without breaking a sweat. Compared to traditional off-road vehicles, ATVs, dirt bikes, even 4x4s, Corleo isn't just taking a different path. It's redefining what a path even means. Those vehicles rely on wheels and suspension, which are great, until the trail gets gnarly. Corleo doesn't need a trail. It is the trail. It moves like it belongs in wild environments. And honestly, it kinda does. Kawasaki is clearly aiming for something much bigger than just recreational use. Think rescue missions in hard-to-reach areas, military operations, even future exploration on places like Mars. This isn't just a new kind of vehicle, it's a new kind of mobility. Corleo doesn't avoid obstacles. Corleo devours them. All right, let's pause for a second and think about something Kawasaki is saying here. They claim that Corleo could actually replace horses in certain roles. Now, we've been riding horses for thousands of years. From ancient times to modern-day cowboys, horses have been our trusted companions through history, whether it was for travel, labor, or even war. But now Kawasaki is proposing that their robotic beast could be the next evolution of the horse. So what would that actually look like? In military operations, horses have long been used for things like reconnaissance, supply transport, and even patrolling rugged, hard-to-reach areas. But Corleo can go places that no horse ever could. Imagine a team of these robotic creatures navigating dense forests, carrying equipment up steep mountain passes, or crossing difficult terrain with precision and speed that humans could never match. And unlike horses, they don't get tired. They don't need water or food. Then there's search and rescue. Horses have been used to help find people in remote or disaster-stricken areas. But imagine having a machine that can quickly assess terrain and move through places that are literally impossible for traditional vehicles. Corleo could be sent into landslides after earthquakes or through deep flood zones, quickly and effectively helping save lives when seconds count. And let's talk about adventure travel. Picture this, a group of explorers riding across rugged landscapes, from deserts to frozen tundras, with nothing but a series of Corleos for transport. No more relying on bulky vehicles or the unpredictability of the elements. These robotic animals could make extreme exploration more accessible than ever before. So here's a quick thought experiment for you. What if we're looking at a world where Corleos patrol forests, carrying out surveillance, or even crossing dangerous war zones? Their robotic legs making quick work of terrain that no human could handle on foot. Or what if they're used as personal transportation in the not-so-distant future, gliding through urban environments with ease? If horses were humanity's ride for thousands of years, Corleo might just be our next steed for the next 1,000. Now, let's zoom out for a second and look at what all of this means for the future. Because Corleo isn't just a new toy, it's the beginning of a completely new way of thinking about transportation. We've been using vehicles with wheels for centuries, right? Cars, trucks, bikes, but all of that is built on one simple concept: wheels. Corleo, it's obliterating that idea. Forget roads. Forget the limitations of terrain. This robot doesn't need a smooth highway or a dirt trail. It just needs space. Imagine a world where you can go anywhere, at any time, without worrying about getting stuck in the mud, on a rock, or stuck in traffic. The possibilities are endless. Kawasaki's vision for the future isn't just about off-roading anymore. It's about creating mobility for places where traditional vehicles can't go. Think about rescue operations in natural disasters, where human lives are on the line and every second counts. Or military missions where getting through rough, unforgiving terrain could mean the difference between life and death. But it's not just about the big, dramatic uses. Picture this: a city where people use robotic creatures like Corleo to get around urban jungles. No more being stuck in traffic. No more gas-guzzling engines. The idea of transportation starts to change when you can ride a robot that adapts to your environment, instead of fighting against it. Kawasaki isn't just designing a vehicle, they're designing the future of how we move. And Corleo could be the first step toward a world where transportation is as adaptable, intelligent, and dynamic as the world we live in. Here's another video AI enthusiasts loved watching. This is AI Exposed, demystifying the world of artificial intelligence, one video at a time.